Welcome to The Cost Count, the show where we figure out how much the cost of damages are in your favourite movies. I'm your host Ishrak, and today we'll be looking at the blockbuster Avengers Infinity War, directed by the Russo brothers. Will Tony Stark be able to cover the costs of Thanos' destruction? Well, let's find out together. You know, this should be a simple video, as long as there's no alien technology or spaceships. Oh, for fuck. Okay, well, I got a rough figure of only about $150 trillion. In the opening scenes, we get to see Thanos and his crew destroy the Asgardian ship and kill many of the passengers. Anyways, Hulk then receives that three-piece combo from Thanos and gets yeeted back to Earth, thanks to good old Idris. Oh, and Loki gets killed. Bruce Banner smashes his way through the Sanctum Sanctorum, adding another $8,010 in damages. We then see Doctor Strange summon Tony during a stroll in the park with Pepper. As they're talking about Hulk's experience with Thanos, noises bring them outside where a car almost runs over Tony. Yeah, those vehicles look like they're usable, so they're not getting added. Okay, maybe not the 6 damaged ones in the background. Cool, I'll add another roughly 4 cars. I would add for the building damages, but other than the bricks on the ground and the odd flame, I can't actually see any damage. But let's add a reasonable 100 million in cleanup and damage costs. Again, remember these are approximates. We get to see Tony and Doctor Strange fight together for the first time, whilst Hulk decides he'd rather hide than seek. Great, that's another 2 cars. And just like that goes another 10 grand. Tree huggers won't like that one. Literally, there was no reason at all for that cab to have been destroyed. Man, this movie really doesn't like cars. Yeah, let's add another 100 million for that cleanup cost. And another 2,000 for the grass. But hey, at least that tree looks good. And just like that, another $9,050. Okay, that tree was a lot bigger. Could Thanos' crew not have brought down some equipment? I mean, I get we're counting damage costs, but this just seems wasteful. The Spidey senses didn't seem to tinkle for that one. We gotta find Tony for breaking and entering. We then cut to the Guardians of the Galaxy, who are travelling through space to get to the point of the distress signal. We get to see the mess Thanos has made of the Asgardians, but by some miracle, Thor makes it out alive. Gamora then talks about Thanos' goal, Peter Quill gets insecure about Thor, and the Guardians split with Rocket, Groot and Thor leaving to create a Thanos-killing weapon, whilst Peter and the rest of the crew go to nowhere to prevent Thanos from getting another stone. Back on Earth, we see Wanda having a thing with Vision. I suppose it adds a new meaning to the word toy boy. Anyways, whilst they're cozying up in Scotland, they're swiftly greeted by 2 more of Thanos' warriors. I'd react that way too if it was my restaurant. We finally see Steve Rogers cosplaying as a hobo. Even the Avengers don't give a damn about local businesses. Those chairs look tough. I'm sure the owner can reuse them. Falcon does not give a fuck, just casually dropping a missile inside a train station. Whilst Vision and Wanda get the talk after getting caught outside, let's check in on Gamora's nightmare. Assuming the damage on this planet is similar to the attack on New York in the first Avengers movie, that's about $160 billion to the total. Gamora then meets Thanos and trusts him after trading her mother for a double-ended knife. Gamora then gets Peter to promise that he will kill her on her request, which he reluctantly agrees to. Peter and the gang arrive on Nowhere and see Thanos crushing the Collector with his foot. Kinda kinky. Gamora manages to stab Thanos in the throat and heart, but turns out it was all an illusion concocted by Thanos. As we see the entirety of the collector's collection being destroyed, this adds a mere $1 quintillion to the count. Peter then squirts Gamora with his bubble gun before Thanos makes his escape with Gamora. The Avengers get back to HQ where they say hi to a hologram and Rhodey. Black Widow and Bruce are reunited. Bruce, like the messenger pigeon he has become, tells the Avengers about Thanos and his grand plan. The decision is then made to go to Wakanda to remove the stone from Vision's head. Prince T'Challa then brings back a now deprogrammed Bucky to join the fight, and Doctor Strange gets the worst acupuncture treatment in the galaxy. Spider-Man, Iron Man and Doctor Strange's cape regroup on the ship to discuss a plan to rescue Doctor Strange. They manage to suck Squidward off the ship. Now back to Gamora, who decides that she no longer likes Thanos' cooking. Nebula is tortured for information, but I mean, can't he just use a USB cable or something? Anyways, turns out Gamora knows the location of the Soul Stone, and so that's where Thanos heads. Catching up with Rocket, Groot and Thor, they arrive at their destination where they meet a giant dwarf. Thor asks for a weapon so they can kill Thanos. And back to the main trio, who casually destroy the ship upon trying to land, costing another $50 trillion. The Guardians of the Galaxy then meet the Earthlings on planet Titan and mistake them for the enemy. After realizing they're on the same side, they discuss a plan to defeat Thanos, while Strange has an epileptic fit through time and reality, before telling the rest of the gang they have one way of beating Thanos out of all the possible outcomes. Vormir is where we find Thanos yeet Gamora off a cliff to get the Soul Stone. The Avengers back on Earth land in Wakanda, where Shuri says she has a way of potentially separating the stone from Vision. Thanos' crew then make their way into Wakanda, and an entire ship explodes upon trying to break into Wakanda's force field. Thor then endures the power of a star to build his weapon, before Groot gives up his arm for the weapon's handle. Thor then arrives to help the battle in Wakanda. Meanwhile, back on Titan, Thanos is ambushed by Iron Man and the crew, but the plan fails because Star-Lord slaps Thanos. I'm also not going to count most of the damage on Titan because Titan was wrecked before they all even arrived, so the extra damage won't be added to our cost. Iron Man then gets his butt handed to him, but is saved last minute when Doctor Strange hands Thanos the Time Stone. Another ship down means another $50 trillion. Thanos then finally arrives to Wakanda. Wanda destroys Vision, but it doesn't matter since Thanos has the Time Stone, so he just reverses time. Thor then swoops and hits Thanos in the chest, but he should have gone for the head, as Thanos snaps his fingers and wipes half of the universe. The movie then ends with Thanos enjoying retirement, whilst the good guys have to deal with their losses. The total bill for Infinity War came to $1,364,164,708,890. Damn, that's high. I wonder if there's a movie out there that could top that. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the show and had as much fun as I did, and I'll see you all in the next one.